which meant that, so you've become a millionaire through this process.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Boom, shaka. Yeah. What a great thing to be able to say.
Yeah.
You've gone red-faced just thinking about it.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about it now, yeah.
Yeah, but you are now, you're a millionaire. Hey, what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds, and I want to introduce you to a guy who just made £850,000 profit on one deal. That is absolutely ridiculous. He's a successful Scottish entrepreneur. His name is Kamran. He's one of my students. He's part of our academy, and you're going to hear exactly how he did it in this video. But please first, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. But right now, Kamran, welcome to Winners on a Wednesday.
Thank you, Samuel. Thank you for having me.
So you are literally, that is probably got to win the trophy on the best deal of the year so far.
Yeah, I've been very lucky. It's been a fantastic deal in Doncaster. How it kind of started out was I was at the crash course in September 19.
Yeah.
And I was on the stage, got the highest ROI, went up, and I just loved it. It was amazing, great atmosphere, really positive. And I thought, I need to take some action. I thought, what should I do? And I thought, okay, I'm in my comfort zone being in Glasgow, doing the things that I do. I have to try something in England. Completely different setup from Glasgow. Regulations were different, Article 4. So I thought, do some due diligence in an area that I learnt from the crash course, just simple things. And I thought I wanted to take some action straight away. Let's get a deal, find something, and decided to go to Doncaster, of all places, because there was a property, an HMO available. I think it was a 4-bedroom. It was going to be converted into an 8-bed with planning permission. But unfortunately, it just wasn't as was described in the description. Went there and it was a complete botch, and it just wasn't going to be viable as far as the figures and the amount of money I'd have to spend. So the agent that was showing the property said, we've got another property if you're interested. And I thought, okay. And it's an ex-council building. Would you be interested? And I says, well, we can, I says, yeah, sure, we can have a look. It's not that far from here. It's in the city centre. And I goes, excellent. And he goes, I'll give the vendor a call. Vendor came out to see me and looked at this building. I thought, this is huge.
Yeah.
This is something I've not done before.
And interestingly that you didn't go to view that property. It just goes to show, because I remember at the crash course saying the person who views the most properties wins. Don't see it as a property viewing, see it as an appointment with an estate agent.
Yeah, because, I came all the way from Glasgow to see this HMO.
Yeah.
And I thought, I've got this other opportunity. Went to see the building. The vendor came out to see me. Lovely guy, got on really well. And I said, oh, I think this might be too much for me. It's huge. The purchase price was, he was looking for the region of about 360k, and I thought, how am I going to raise that money?
Yeah.
I don't have it. And then obviously there's refurb costs, the conversion. I was a wee bit out of my comfort zone. But then I was like, this is what I should be doing.
Yeah.
So I says, listen, I'll get back to you.
Right.
In that time, I was, pondering over the fact, what should I do? How can I raise money to do this project? And I thought, okay, from the crash course, I learned, well, I've got these properties that I could refinance.
Yeah.
So I thought, this makes sense.
And you had a nice little portfolio in Glasgow,
yes.
And they were just basically buy-to-lets.
Yeah. And I just didn't, I was old school, I didn't have, the reason why I came to the crash course, I wanted to learn, how can I maximise what I have?
Yeah.
So, and I thought, okay, refinance.
Because most people, their mindset is pay off the mortgages as quickly as possible.
That's what it was, work hard, pay it off.
And I'm saying, no. Completely. Pull out more equity, get more loans against the properties.
That's it. And it was like interest only, and I thought, okay, so I thought, got some advice off people that I thought knew a bit about property in Glasgow. They advised me to go to somebody that would arrange finance, and I thought, fair enough. So they wanted a percentage, say, I think it was 2.5%,
yeah.
And it was coming to approximately about £12,500. I thought, that's a lot of money. Fair enough. I've got to do this and move forward. Got the ball rolling, but I was really favoured up to do the launchpad because at the crash course, I joined the academy and I thought, pay the whole lot, I'm going to do this. I'm going to spend some money on myself for a change, educate myself about something I'm passionate about that I've been told that I'm good at, but I've done on a part-time basis. And I really want to scale up and learn how it's done because there's people with such less experience than myself that are smashing it. And I thought, you know, if I get this education, favoured up for the launchpad, it was November, and I thought, November's ages away. Like, I'm really so desperate to start. Okay, so November came, launchpad came, loved the environment. There was some great people I met, obviously yourself and Alistair and Anthony. Started talking to everyone and just loved being around really positive people that were into what they were doing. They were in part of the training. They paid for the training, so there was no messing about. These guys were focused, and it's great to be in that environment.
Interesting as well, though, because you, Kamran, obviously were already a reasonably successful property investor. You had 5 properties. You had experience in the industry, in the construction industry. You trained as like a plumber, and you'd worked on a lot of Victorian houses. Working in retail, you got a shop.
Yes, I've got a shop.
Tell me a little bit about the shop.
Shop is like get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, open up. As you know, shops are hard work. Anybody that's in retail, traditional grocery shop in inner city scheme, which is a fantastic place to do business. Again, it's hard work, and I wanted to, you know, property was always a part-time thing because shops, retail businesses take a lot of your time. They're very focused around the owner, the person. That's, you know, me. So, and I was thinking, you know, the money that I make from there I can put into property and expand my portfolio. That was the idea, but I never really had the time. To, you know, because shops do tie you down. Right.
So you're kind of making money with your shop. What are you selling? Is it like an off license type thing?
No, it's just a deli and a grocer's.
Okay.
Yeah, just.
So you got a shop. You're making money off of that. You're working really hard, saving your money, and then you're dumping it into property, which is quite an old school way to become wealthy.
Of course it is, and you know, it was always the thing that, you know, you worked hard, and you know, if you buy a property, that you want to pay it off as quick as possible. You know, that was this general scenario, you know, that you were brought up with. But I had to have, you know, move forward and kind of modernise my way of thinking and my approach towards property, because, you know, I think I was told I was very good at what I'd done, that I should be doing it full time. You know, the shop, you know, okay, is the shop, but there's so much more you can do. So,
with the 5 properties, and they're in a nice part of Glasgow as well. Whereabouts are they?
They're in the West End of Glasgow.
Okay, like the Golden Circle.
Yes, basically very close to the city centre. 10 minutes walking distance, 10 minutes from Glasgow University.
So these 5 properties that you've got, the first thing we said when you joined the academy is you're thinking, how can I restructure this? How can I reshuffle this around? So what did you do with those properties? What happened?
So what I did with them, one of them that's slightly outside, it's like more a suburb of the West End. So it's maybe the other 4 are like walking distances city centre. And I thought, okay, what I realised was that, you know, maybe I think I did the rent to rent. We learnt about service accommodation, so I says, let's try it out in this one property. It was a single let at £1,100 per calendar month. Great occupancy, it had done well. And the thing was, the tenants had been in there for quite a while. And I thought, this is my opportunity, they're leaving. Did a full refurb. Just upgraded it with some, you know, kind of nicer furniture and stuff, because I wanted to achieve that luxury kind of, you know, hotel look. That I was taught through the academy. This is what you can achieve if you know, you furnish it well and, you know, you go for that high end look, which I did. And, you know, I was pleasantly surprised that. And I thought, well, how am I going to manage it? Because we're taught how to manage our service accommodation, but I just didn't have the time. So I thought, I'll get a competent company. So I used a company, Pass the Keys, which are brilliant. and now it's generating an average of 3,300 per calendar month.
Incredible. So you tripled the rent basically.
And I would never have been able to do that without the training and learning, you know, the potential in that, because I just didn't have.
Well, I mean, even just that deal alone, even after you take up all the costs of the management and whatnot, the extra profit, if you spread that out over a year, that's paid for the academy.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And the best part of, I forgot to say about my academy, I think I paid £12,000.
Yeah.
At the time. It says that's a lot of money, so I'm going to make sure. And this is money I've spent on myself.
Yeah.
So I really need to get something out of it. So when I was refinancing my portfolio, wanting to have a pot that I could buy property with, and especially in England that I was looking, I obviously started that process and it was declined. And I was like, you're having a laugh, you know? And in that time, I had obviously looked at a development that had been offered in Doncaster. And I was like, gosh, what am I going to do now? You know, I've spoken to this gentleman and I've gave him my word. So I thought, I was at the academy event and I thought, I think it was Sophia from Penny House.
Deal finding extravaganza and never use your own money again.
Yes,
yes,
that's what it was. And I was just listening to, you know, that she does refinancing and stuff. And then one of the other academy members, Ray, she said to me, listen, I've used Sophia, she's great. Why don't you speak to her? Because I was in a crisis. I was like, what am I going to do? I've just gave this gentleman my word that I can give him a quick sale, that I can purchase this building, that I'm so out my comfort zone. And because I've joined the academy now, I've got that confidence and I've got people around about me that will support me and can answer questions and help me. So arranged a phone call with Sophia and she says, okay, I want to refinance these properties. It's been declined, but it wasn't declined because of anything to do with me personally. My credit history, everything was top notch. You know, there wasn't an issue. It was just a mistake that the person that was refinancing had made.
Okay.
So, and she says, okay, send all the stuff over, sent it over. And she done it for like £1,500.
And she pulled out all the money you needed.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And I thought, well, there you go. You know, what I've paid to join the academy has paid for itself from one contact.
Yeah, because now you've refinanced. So you managed to pull out, did you buy the Doncaster property in cash?
Yes, from the
refinance. So this little portfolio that you had then, that you were renting out, was making a little bit of money, but suddenly you've turned one of them into a serviced accommodation,
yes,
which has tripled the amount of rent that you're getting. Next, you've refinanced that little portfolio, yes, which has set you up to buy this property in Doncaster, yep, which you bought for
320,000, including fees.
Right, and that was now about 18 months ago?
Yes, and it has kind of run over because, you know, I did kind of buy it when the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
I think I got the keys on April, but we didn't start work till June.
Right.
Because I wasn't happy with the outline plans. I looked at them and I thought, I think I can improve these.
Yeah.
And also I was looking at the development thinking, I'd love to build on top of this. And do something. I wanted to add even more value.
Penthouses.
Yes, penthouse apartments.
So let's have a quick rundown what happened, and then we can go into a bit of detail about some of the lessons. So you bought it for 330.
320.
320, sorry. How much? Because I know the refurb now. You still want to do. You want to add a bit more work onto it and do penthouse. But the main work of the property is now pretty much complete.
Yes, it is.
You've also had a Parminder who's given you a conservative revalue on the property. Yes. So you bought it for 320. How much did the refurb come in at in total to convert it, and what did you convert it to?
Sure, okay. I converted it was an ex-council building, and it was within the cartilage of a listed building, so it was a wee bit complicated. I converted it into a 3,000 foot retail unit, and on the other side it's a 5-bed with all en suites HMO, and then on the first floor is a 10-bed with all en suites HMO, and I've just been granted permission in the last few months for penthouse apartments.
Nice. So this is a mega building.
Yeah, and with a wraparound roof terrace, and I've got a small car park as well.
Right.
So yeah, I'm really excited about doing the penthouse apartments. I'm going to project manage that myself.
Yeah.
And do all of that. Yeah, so it's been amazing.
Wow. I bet the lessons have been crazy.
Oh, you know, it's like, if you can imagine doing one deal, but learning about planning permissions, about dealing with conservation officers,
Yeah.
with local councils, and being technically in a different country, because I'm from Scotland.
Yeah.
Rules are completely different.
Of course.
You know, even, you know, the tenancy agreements, you are still using short assured tenancy agreements. We don't. In Scotland, they've got their own,
Yeah.
the Scottish government. So it was, in one development, I've done commercial, but I've got a tenant for the commercial unit now. I've obviously doing a new build as well, because I'm building the penthouse apartments on an existing building. The HMOs, so it's been a mix of everything in one development.
And also you've done it alongside the academy,
Yes.
which is perfect, because you've had all the training and education, but you've been doing it alongside and learning on the job.
And I've had some great support from, you know, like so yourself, Alistair, Anthony, and if I had, you know, everything just ran along with the academy events, and if I had any questions, and everybody was there for us, you know, to support us.
That's
and
great.
Other academy members as well. You know, Dave Taylor was a great help. I remember chatting to him. We started our journey about the same time.
Yeah, because you joined the academy with Dave.
Yeah, and you know, I remember taking him out when I got the keys. And getting his advice was great.
Yeah.
You know, met Ray through the academy. You know, there's some fantastic people that have helped me.
And she's done fantastic as well.
Yeah, she's doing great, and you know, the amount of support I got from her experience and knowledge of basically, you know, how to do things in England, how to deal with the council. It's been...
And she says the same about you, though, and that's the thing with the academy. You've got the mentors, but then you've also got success buddies, people helping each other along the way.
Property buddies.
So all in, what's the cost of the purchase price of the site and the entire development cost, refurb? What does it all come in at?
It's coming in at 650.
650.
Including purchase price, all the renovations, and completing the whole project.
So 650, including stamp duty, all the build costs, professional fees,
everything,
and the purchase price of buying it for 320. Okay, and you've just had Parminder give you a conservative,
very conservative
valuation. And what did that come in at?
At 1.5 million.
Oh my goodness!
Which is amazing.
How did you feel when that came in?
Unbelievable. I just couldn't believe it. I remember actually asking Anthony, how do you work out like an end value?
Yeah.
You know, and he says, well, give me an idea of what kind of rentals you're expecting. This was early on, and I told him the figures. I'd done the figures. I got him to check them, and I was like, "That, are you sure?" He goes, "Yeah, believe me, this is real." I goes, "No, it can't be." He goes, "No, this is it, you know."
So when you were working out what the end value was going to be, were you thinking, this can't be right?
Yeah, this
if I'm buying it for 320 and I'm spending another 330.
And based on the rental income, because obviously, you know, the commercial unit, you know, they take into consideration what the rental is.
Yeah.
You know, to give us an end value, and then the HMOs, you know, and I was explained how it worked, and I just couldn't get my head around it.
Yeah. So that's a clean profit of £850,000 on one deal.
And a rental income of 11,500 per calendar month.
Per month, 11.5 grand.
Yeah, gross, obviously.
So once you're refinanced, do you know what kind of cash flow profit you're going to be left with a month?
Yeah, I think, you know, conservatively about 5,000 to 5,500.
Okay, so you've got about 11.5 grand rent. You're going to have to pay the mortgage once you've refinanced, bills, different bits and bobs. But still, that's not only is that 850 grand in equity, that's also financial freedom.
Yes, and you know, I remember doing the buy, refurbish, refinance.
Yeah.
And this is the perfect buy, refurbish,
refinance. Oh, it is.
You know, basically it's paying, I'm getting a free property and I'm getting money back.
Yeah.
The whole theory, what we're taught, I think, I've been very lucky.
Well, if you wanted to, you could probably, if you want, I'm not saying you should do this, but you could sell the entire site and then probably, if you shouldn't do this, but pay off the mortgages on your, I mean, the world's your oyster, but I would imagine to continue growing.
I will be keeping this pot for the next development. The thing is, you know, having that cash flow to look at another project and other things, and you know, I'm really excited now, being back amongst everyone, you know, with yourself at the live.
Well, we were training together yesterday.
Yeah, and it was great. It's been a while, you know, and I haven't even finished the academy. I've still got a couple of things to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've still to learn about deal sourcing and, you know, the one-to-one mentoring. So I'm really looking forward to
Well,
it.
what I said to you as well is I said, the amount of opportunities that you come across that you're like, I'm too busy on this, this and this. You should be packaging and selling those deals. And you're like, I'll get to the deal selling masterclass soon.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. Also, you had, I know you just came down from Glasgow yesterday to do some development training.
Yes,
which is awesome, which is actually outside of the academy. And that's a whole new venture. And what happened in the build up to the development training that you did with myself?
Well, I think I was in Newcastle and I thought I want to go to a live event because, you know, it's been so long, and just to get around, you know, seeing yourself and around like-minded people. So I went to the event in Newcastle, and, you know, obviously you were speaking about, you know, the development side of things, new courses running. And I thought, well, do you know, this sounds amazing. So what did I do? I decided to take some action after I came back from Newcastle, and this was last week.
Yeah.
Last week, roughly, yeah. I looked at some land and put in an offer and thought, I want to do this now. I just was desperate to take some action, and this is a bit of land that had 16. It was basically a tenement block with a pub that goes right round, and it went on fire. I'm not going to say much more about it, and it's basically to reinstate it again. So I'm really looking forward to doing that, and I've put in an offer through the solicitor, and it's a clean offer, which the clients are looking for.
And I know we spoke about that, and I was like, have you got planning permission? And we were chatting it through, and you said that you've spoken to the planning.
I've had a chat with the conservation officer and the planning officer. This is something I learnt previously, you know, working in Doncaster. You know, I'm a people's person. I like to meet people face to face and talk to them, and, you know, put across what I'm hoping to achieve and get their support. And again, I approached the council looking for their support and their advice on what I want to achieve. Yeah. And it was very positive.
And they said they'll work with you on getting the planning.
Work with me, yeah.
So the land, what was the offer accepted to buy the land for?
The offer for the land is £37,786.
Why so specific?
I don't know. It's just that I like to. I know people say, "Why do you?" I've always purchased things with, you know, the odd numbers, and 786 is just a luck thing as well.
Okay, all right, good. So there's still 37,000 something for a piece of land. That's very cheap.
Yes.
Oh, we're probably in 6-12 months' time. We'll have another story of how you made £1 million on one deal, because you're going to got a lot to build on that potential. A lot of houses and stuff.
Yeah. So again, it's having the conversations, and if it's just picking up the phone, you know, this land, there was offers in before, and it was subject to planning. Yeah. And, you know, the vendor's not really looking for that.
They just want a quick bit of cash. Yeah. But then the thing is, you know how to speak to the planning department and the council, and they'll say, we know the site, here's what we think, you can get a feeler.
Of course, and, you know, there's no harm in that. You know?
And also, if it goes all wrong, it's only 37 grand.
Stick it,
it's worth a punt. Stick it back on an auction and sell it for 25.
Yeah, that's it. You know, at the end of the day, it's you do have to take some kind of risk. You know, property development isn't easy by any chance. Even refurbs, the thing I was doing in Doncaster, believe me, I had so many problems you come across, but it's finding solutions for those problems. Correct. And having a network of support and people around you that you can seek advice from. Yeah. And I find that is really important.
You can't pull off a big deal like that without any sweat.
No, not at all. It's not easy. You know, there's especially when you're dealing with properties in conservation areas and there's listed buildings, there's a lot of there's a lot of things that you have to learn about.
You need the training. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like if you want to be a doctor, you go to law school. If you want to be an electrician, you go to college. So if you want to be a property investor or developer, you've got to get the training.
And the training with yourselves, you know, at the beginning when I started the training, people said, "Oh, you're doing this training, you're doing that." I was, "Yeah, I'm doing it," and you know, people are quick to pass judgment.
Yeah.
But you know, come along and see what happens at these training events.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very experienced in learning about different things, and I think the training is fantastic.
Yeah.
And the people that you'll meet, you know, and thank you, Samuel.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
You know, it's great to have that opportunity and being introduced to all the different people through yourself, you know, and I think what you're doing is fantastic. And yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
What is your strongest reason for doing this?
My strongest reason for doing property or just...
For making all this money? You're like, there's got to be a reason for making all this money.
Firstly, it'd be nice to be able to be, you know, be able to get up whenever you want in the morning.
Yeah.
Not do the early mornings.
Because you're still doing retail right now?
Yeah, I'm still up at 4 in the morning.
When are you going to quit doing that?
Well, once I'm in a position where, you know, Doncaster is finished.
Once the rent comes in.
Yeah,
that's another thing as well about property development. And that's why on the academy we teach rent to rent and deal sourcing. Because property development is really slow. Yes. Like, yeah, you've just made £850,000 equity on this property, but until you actually get all the tenants in and you don't see the money.
No, that's it. So you know, you do have to. My advice would be to anybody that, you know, you have to keep paying your bills. You need
exactly.
You need money coming in.
Cash flow is the lifeblood of any business.
And the thing is, in property, your money can be tied up for a period of time.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, I can't afford to not be working in the shops.
But you've got your retail business, which is giving you your cash flow at the moment, and then you've got property, which is you're working part time on your fortune and full time on your on your job.
Yes.
But I think for some people, they haven't got that retail business. They haven't got the cash flow, which is why we teach rent to rent, deal sourcing, and lease option agreements. These strategies where you can get some quick cash flow coming in.
This is a great thing about the academy. There's something that suits everyone.
Yeah.
That if you want to get into property, you know, I was speaking to a few people yesterday, and you know, everybody's situation is different.
Correct.
You know, some people, you know, have money to invest, some people don't. But there's so many creative strategies like rent to rent.
Yeah.
You know, rent to service accommodation. You know, there's lease options. You know, these things are all taught.
Yeah. And also, some people might be watching this thinking, oh, it's all right for Kamran because he had his 5 houses with his equity. But the thing is, if someone didn't have the 5 houses with the equity, but they'd have found that Doncaster deal, they'd have very easily been able to find a joint venture partner on the academy and gone in 50-50s.
Without a doubt. I remember discussing Doncaster, and obviously the process of the purchase and everything that was going on is I was at academy events at the time, so I was having to leave the room and speak to solicitors and, you know, negotiate things. And you know, I didn't have a shortage of people wanting to joint venture. Right. Because obviously some people are aware that my refinance had been declined.
Oh, right.
So I was in a panic. I was like, because I've given somebody my word, you know.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a delay.
I bet a lot of people wish that they had have been able to joint venture. Because putting in a few $100,000 and then getting that kind of an uplift, it's incredible. Did you use bridging finance for the actual development?
No.
What did you use your refinance money?
Refinance money, refinance money. And in a way, it's been a blessing in disguise because I looked into bridging and whatever I've learnt through the academy, but the project is overrun. No fault of my own. It's just because of COVID, people, you know, the company I'm using, their staff being on furlough.
Yeah.
You know, just generally issues that builders are having just now, and materials and stuff. Just, you know, that's just the situation.
Yeah.
So and I was thinking if I'd had bridging finance and the project has run over,
right?
You know, I suppose in a way, you know, it's been okay. I'm funding it myself.
If it had gone wrong, let's say, I know this is impossible because you've done your due diligence and you're on the academy,
yes.
but if you did all the money you put into that deal, if it had all gone down the drain, did you put every penny you had into that deal, or did you still have money in different things elsewhere, or did you put everything in?
I've basically refinanced my whole portfolio, everything.
So you put everything into this deal?
Everything.
Which is 650 grand?
Yes.
Which meant that, so you've become a millionaire through this process?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Boom, shaka. Yeah. What a great thing to be able to say. Yeah. You've gone red-faced just thinking about it.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about it now, yeah.
Yeah, but you are now, you're a millionaire.
Yeah.
Because if you add up all what you've got now and you take away all the debts, you're left with over £1 million.
Oh yeah, easily.
But you weren't a year ago?
No.
So you're a millionaire?
Yeah.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I know one of the reasons you're doing this is to be able to get out of retail.
Yes.
Also, your daughter.
Yeah.
Amelia.
Yeah, Amelia's my daughter. She just turned 5, and Amelia's a child with DS, which is Down syndrome.
Right.
And I just want to do more.
Yeah. To
help her, and it'd be great to have the extra money to do things and be able to. There is support out there, but there's stuff you can do privately to help her basically reach her milestones quicker. And also I'm very passionate about certain charities that I've been involved in over the years, but it'd be great to have that actual financial freedom and time to be able to go personally and do the projects instead of just raising money and contributing money towards these things.
Yeah.
So it's not all about the money for me. I really want to make a change to people's lives and a difference. Yeah. And I'm
you're a great guy. I know your dad as well, who's passed now, but he set up schools in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Which are still running.
Still running to this day. Yeah, for children that can get an education, they can even stay there.
Yeah.
Like a bit like a boarding school and stuff. And it's something that inspired me to think that I'd love to be able to do that myself.
Continue that work.
Yeah, and physically be able to travel and do these things.
Yeah.
I think I get a real good, feeling from helping people.
That's awesome. Well, you know what? I couldn't be more happy for you. And you're a stand-up guy, man of your word. You've got great energy. Every time you come to the events, you've always got fantastic energy. And I'm just so happy. And I'm really glad to be part of your journey. And I'm really grateful that you've come all the way from Glasgow to share the story on Winners Wednesday.
Likewise, I'd just like to say a big thank you to all the team, yourself, Samuel, and Anthony, Alistair, Ricky. These guys have really changed my life.
Awesome, bro. Thank you so much. Well done.
You.
Guys, if you're not inspired, I don't know what to say. Kamran, what a great guy. What a great story. If you want to come to the Property Investors Crash Course like Kamran did and experience the training that we've been talking about, then guess what? It is on the house, okay? Free ticket on the house. I'll leave a link in the description so you'll be able to check the next dates up and coming and get down, whether you're from Glasgow, whether you're from Ireland. People come from all over the world to these training programs because they genuinely will change your financial life forever if you implement and put the work in. I've been doing interviews like this every single week for years now. Every week, another success student coming on the channel every single week on Winners on a Wednesday. You can check out the entire playlist up here. But of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can see more future videos. Book on to the next Property Investors Crash Course. God bless, peace out, see you next time.
Light it up, light it up.